What if one of the fastest growing religious conversations today is happening quietly in a country you would never expect, like Venezuela, where economic hardship meets spiritual searching and thousands are rethinking faith and identity? In a nation long known for its strong Christian roots, the story of Islam is unfolding in a surprising yet deeply human way, shaped by migration, culture, and personal transformation. To understand this rise, we first need to look at the religious landscape of Venezuela, where Christianity, especially Catholicism, has historically dominated, with the majority of people identifying as Christian, while only a small percentage follows other religions. Despite this overwhelming majority, Islam has maintained a small but visible presence, with estimates suggesting around 90,000 to 120,000 Muslims living in the country, which represents roughly 0.3 to 0.4% of the population. This number may seem small at first, but the significance lies not only in size but in growth patterns and cultural impact, because the Muslim community in Venezuela is not static but evolving. The roots of Islam in Venezuela go back to migration waves, especially during the 20th century, when people from countries like Lebanon, Syria, and Palestine arrived, bringing their traditions, beliefs, and religious practices with them. These early Muslim communities were largely centered in urban areas such as Caracas, Maracaibo, and Valencia, where they established businesses, mosques, and social networks that helped preserve their identity. One of the most iconic symbols of Islam in Venezuela is the Sheikh Ibrahim al-Ibrahim Mosque in Caracas, which stands as one of the largest mosques in Latin America and represents the physical and cultural presence of Islam in the country. For many years, Islam in Venezuela was closely associated with Arab identity, meaning that most Muslims were descendants of immigrants rather than local converts. However, this began to change in the late 20th century, and especially in the early 21st century, when a noticeable shift toward local conversion started to take place. Research shows that thousands of Venezuelans have converted to Islam, with estimates suggesting more than 3,000 local converts by the year 2020, and the number continues to grow. This shift is important because it signals that Islam is no longer just an imported religion but is becoming part of the local spiritual landscape. So what is driving this change? One of the key factors is the social and economic crisis that Venezuela has faced in recent years, marked by inflation, unemployment, and political instability. During times of crisis, people often begin to question their beliefs and search for deeper meaning, purpose, and stability in their lives. For some Venezuelans, Islam offers a sense of structure, discipline, and spiritual clarity that they feel is missing elsewhere. The emphasis on daily prayer, community support, and moral guidance can be especially appealing in a society experiencing uncertainty. Another important factor is the role of community and personal interaction. Unlike large institutional conversions, many people in Venezuela discover Islam through friendships, relationships, or interactions with Muslim communities. These personal connections allow individuals to ask questions, observe practices, and gradually develop an understanding of the religion. In many cases, conversion is not a sudden decision but a gradual process that unfolds over time as individuals learn and reflect. Academic studies highlight that conversion in Venezuela has increasingly been driven by local converts themselves, who actively share their experiences and introduce others to Islam. This peer-to-peer dynamic plays a powerful role because people often relate more easily to someone from their own cultural background. Another factor contributing to the rise of Islam is access to information. In the digital age, people can explore different religions online, watch videos, read translations of religious texts, and connect with communities around the world. For Spanish-speaking audiences, the availability of Islamic content in Spanish has made the religion more accessible and easier to understand. This accessibility reduces barriers and allows individuals to explore Islam at their own pace without pressure. Cultural openness in Latin America also plays a role. Venezuela, like many countries in the region, has a history of cultural mixing and diversity, which can create an environment where new ideas and beliefs are more easily explored. Although Islam remains a minority religion, it is generally practiced freely, as the constitution guarantees religious freedom, allowing communities to establish mosques in Venezuela. While many are Sunni Muslims, there are also Shia communities and smaller groups representing different Islamic traditions, creating a rich and varied religious environment. This diversity allows for multiple interpretations and practices which can appeal to different individuals based on the personal beliefs and experiences. At the same time, it is important to approach the topic of conversion with accuracy and realism. While there is growth, it is not an explosive or dominant trend, and Islam remains a small minority religion in Venezuela. Some reports suggest that overall numbers have remained relatively stable, with slight increases in local converts balanced by emigration and other demographic factors. This means that while the narrative of rapid growth can be compelling, it should be understood within the context of a small base population. Another factor sometimes discussed is political and international influence. Venezuela has had diplomatic and economic relationships with countries where Islam is the majority religion, which has led to some cultural exchange and visibility of Islamic practices. However, the impact of these relationships on conversion rates is complex and not the primary driver compared to personal and social factors. The role of identity is also significant. For some converts, Islam represents not just a religion but a new sense of identity, purpose, and belonging. In a society facing challenges, this sense of belonging can be deeply meaningful. Stories of converts often highlight themes of discipline, peace, and connection to God as reasons for the decision. At the same time, conversion can also come with challenges. New Muslims in Venezuela may face misunderstandings, stereotypes, or lack of support from family and society, especially in a predominantly Christian environment. This makes community support and education even more important for helping converts navigate their new faith. Looking at the broader picture, the rise of Islam in Venezuela reflects a global pattern where religion continues to evolve and adapt to changing social conditions. It shows how faith can cross cultural boundaries and take root in new environments shaped by local experiences. It also highlights the importance of understanding religious change not as a simple trend but as a complex process influenced by history, culture, economics, and personal journeys. In conclusion, the story of Islam in Venezuela is not just about numbers but about people searching for meaning, connection, and stability in a changing world. It is a story of migration, heritage, curiosity, and transformation unfolding quietly yet significantly within a country known for its diversity and resilience. And while Islam may remain a minority religion, its growing presence and the increasing number of local converts suggest that its role in Venezuelan society will continue to evolve in the years ahead.